Hello and welcome and good morning to Marketing for Healers. And from wonderful Bali, we see this tranquil background. I'm already so happy this morning. Fiona Bleetman. Hello, Fiona.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I must admit it's a very chatty morning, unusual for myself, but I guess I'll get it together once I sip a bit on my coffee. So let's give me some coffee moment and maybe please be so kind, introduce yourself to the healers and therapists and everybody watching who is interested in marketing and self-improvement in terms of business. Please give us your background and I sip my coffee.
Yeah. So my name's Fiona. I am a human design business specialist that doesn't know what human design is. Human design is a self-knowledge system based on ancient wisdoms, such as the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, the I Ching. It's also based on astrology and quantum physics. And what human design shows us is that we all have a purpose here. And when we work in alignment with our natural makeup, with all the things that we've got going on inside of us, all our natural skills and abilities, the way we naturally show up, the way we naturally flow, we're able to achieve our goals. And in my case, when I work with people, business goals, a lot more smoothly. There's less friction and resistance. So basically, it's all about learning how to work with yourself instead of against yourself to help you achieve your goals. So my background, I started my career as a data analyst. And I guess I was nice and cozy behind the computer screens and my Excel spreadsheets. And then during the COVID time, I had this strong desire to become a health coach. So I studied, I got qualified. And once I got qualified, I had this, can I say crap? Oh, crap moment, where I realized in order to start my own business, I had to become visible and find my voice. And that was where my biggest blocks were. I had such bad fear and anxiety around speaking up, around being seen. And I've always had that from a young age, from school. When the teacher looked at me, I would, in my body, like tense up, get anxious. University, same things. I was, presenting and things like that was the worst. And I would literally not be in my body. I would feel like dissociated from my body and stumble back to my seat. So yeah, working through those big fears to obviously build up a business. So that's the point where I got a coach and she coached me based on my human design. And yeah, through this coaching, we were able to work through my blocks and my fears and conditioning and actually discovered how I'm designed to show up and communicate. And there's two things. Do you want me to give you an example of kind of how...
It's your podcast.
Okay.
We can sing together, whatever you wish. You're the star here.
Okay, good. Because the visual, having the examples are really good visuals. And I think a lot of people can, relate to it. So when I first started the health coaching journey, I saw a lot of other people in the field recording these online training programs. And they just recorded this whole program, put it up online and sat back and just received passive income. And I thought, genius, I've got to do that. So every night I would sit down and try and record myself. And I just I didn't have energy to get my words out. Obviously I had a lot to say, but it wasn't coming out. And I would sit night after night after night trying to do this. So when I learned my human design, one of the things I learned was about the design of my throat center, which it's undefined. So that means I have inconsistent access to energy in that center. And I actually work best when there's stimulation, when there's people in front of me. It's not generating from within. So there's other centers I have inside my human design, let's say the sacral center. The energy is generating from within, doesn't matter who's around me. For my throat center, it's like energetically open, you could say. I had to change my strategy. I do workshops, I do events. Obviously, I work with clients in front of them, come on podcasts. People interview me. That's the best way to get stuff out of me. So change my strategy, saved a lot of time changing that. The other thing I learned about my throat center was I have a gate. A gate is basically a talent. Like you're born with this talent to help you achieve your goals here. So this gate, it's about speaking intuitively in flow through storytelling. And that is not how I was showing up. I had this belief that in order to be taken seriously, I had to speak very factually and scientifically and concisely and to the point. And when I started, I guess, marketing for the health coaching, I started in that way of very data driven. I had the data analyst background as well. It was like very data driven. I was trying to be scientific. I was trying to be very factual, which is great for some people, by the way. That's great for their design. For me, I shine through more when I just speak intuitively and flow through storytelling. So that's another shift I made. And that was quite a hard shift to make because I found myself in a very vulnerable place, massive fear of judgment, coming online and just speaking in flow intuitively. So that was a big change for me. And I started off this journey with this crippling fear of speaking in front of people. I started to gradually expand my comfort zone with that. I started to go to networking events in London. And all I had to do was 60-second pitches. And I was petrified. I was running back and forth in the toilet for my 60 seconds. And I just kept going back. I was petrified. I couldn't even feel my body. I just kept going back to do the 60 seconds. Also,
But I'd be more scared for 60 seconds than for 1 hour.
oh, really? Because you have to fit everything. Yeah,
And,
that's true.
you know, but they always call people like me, like micro for whores. So they're very different things, and still fears could happen with everybody. So
Anyway,
it
yeah.
sounds so normal in a way.
Yeah. And it's just, the point is, if I showed up the first time and it was scary and I was like, no, never again, I obviously wouldn't have got to the place I am today. So, I kept pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. I was obviously very determined, and then, felt a bit more comfortable. Okay, I'll do a workshop with my friend who will be there with me and I'll feel more comfortable. Okay, now I can do a workshop on my own. Okay, now I can come on podcast. Now I can do these bigger things. So that is how I got to where I am today. And today I've used this knowledge. So I qualified as in psychology at university. So I studied psychology, did the data analyst job, health coaching, got the health coaching stuff, the coaching things under my belt, and then obviously human design. So now I'm working with coaches, practitioners, early stage entrepreneurs that have these similar blocks, fear of being seen, fear of failure, maybe even lack of clarity, helping them work through that and discovering their way of showing up, their way of becoming visible, because it's not about what's trending. It's not about what's working well for your best friend. It's about what works best for you, and it's through self-knowledge.
And I think that's a very great thing, I'm saying great thing about my podcast, but I'm always so happy when I get people who have you're the third, this is the fifth or sixth podcast of this specific series, and you're the fifth guest who actually has a qualified healing background and now transitioned to marketing for healers. This is like the people I'm mainly aiming for to get as guests. You're exactly spot on. So say the dream guest scenario, you have a background in healing, you understand it healing because you know it, and then you transitioned in helping healers now. So this is like, I think you cannot find better guests, basically. So well done, Phil.
Well,
Modesty is very important. Or others. It's so interesting because everybody has blockages. Some people have the blockage in writing, some people have, the blockage of silence.
Yeah.
Everybody has these horrors and these fears, and public speaking is such a classic.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It always fascinates me because me, for example, I just don't have it. And I just love the crowds. The bigger, the better. I mean, I'd had a trillion people in front, and I'd be like, happy as a baby seal.
Yeah.
And even first time going on telly, I've been several times on telly. Yes, you are excited, because this is like one of the most popular TV shows in my country. There's like literally a million people watching. But by the end of the day, I was, once I'm out there, and I was quite young or whatever, I just love the audience on the stage, but I have other fears. So we all have fears to overcome, and that's your point, I guess.
Yeah.
Everybody has its very specific talents and very specific fears. And
And I do find people's biggest challenges, people's biggest obstacles tend to become their greatest strength, is what I found through working with people and through myself. Sometimes
now you're telling me to stop podcasting.
all right.
Because if this is my not fear at all, so this is not my biggest strength.
Yeah, it's another strength. But, it's usually a place where we're able to really guide others through, really able to help people through that initial process. They're qualified in the thing, they become a coach, and then they're like,
I'm joking.
yeah.
Again, sorry, I'm having a funny morning, but let's get serious. But actually, I also help people with podcast trainings. I don't know if you catch that.
Yeah.
To help people to different than what you do. You do it as a like more scientific, and you really go deep, and you really help people on a very different path. And it sounds amazing. Me, it's more practical. Just simply, as you said, sometimes it's good to just go through a couple of times, instruction, this and that, and also do the speaking. And as you said, a lot of people need, when they want to create content for their platforms, it's very awkward just talking to the camera by themselves. And it is not without the proper training. Usually it's quite odd.
Yeah.
So I offer people that they can talk to me actually, and then I just cut myself out, and they get those little clips they can use for the websites and stuff, just to make it easier.
That's so helpful. That is so helpful, especially for people with the undefined throat center. But yeah, it's really helpful.
And you're also very interesting that you mentioned those webinars and stuff like that. So many people have something valuable to say, but it's very hard to just stay there and lecture to nobody.
Yeah.
And then, all right, but so far we're in alignment, but let's now go to the practical implications.
Yeah.
First of all, what are the real problems that people come to you? Is like, is it really like, I can't get out there? Or is it I'm not selling well? Or how do people start a conversation? It's like, I don't get enough leads, or where the problems, where are the phone calls?
Okay.
What are people saying?
So there's a few. One is lack of clarity. Maybe they have so many passions and they either don't know which one to pick, or they don't know how to tie it together. So that's one. So it's a bit more of the structure around how to do that and how to work with that and package it up.
But it's amazing when people see it for themselves. I think that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I think that's already like, wow, if you come to the point where you realize I do a bit of that, and I do a bit of Reiki, and I do a bit of this, and I do a bit of that, and do this, and because I see every day those websites from healers where it's like, whoa, who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. So cleaning that up, clarity is one. Another is the fear of visibility, or not knowing how to become visible. And then obviously that fear around, well, I don't want to show my face on like social media, or I'm not good at images, so it's about really finding their way. You don't have to be doing visual content. You could be writing blogs and articles, or you could do written content, you could do visual content, you could do online, you could do offline. You could be working with your immediate kind of people. Maybe you already have a community and a network, and maybe you work within that, or maybe you're a bigger outreach kind of person and you can touch people from all over the world and things like that. It's another thing. And all of this is also tailored to your human design. So I can give some pointers about each type in human design. There's 5 types. Sorry.
Let's take it slow. We have time. We don't need to rush things. We are relaxed here.
Yeah.
And this will be the main part, of course. But just the first question to you: just help people with information and say, I don't know how to build a platform, I don't know out there, or do you also tell them these platforms exist? Is there some technical help that you're also giving, or this is not basically this is not what you do?
No, it's not technical. It's more of the inner work. So it's overcoming the internal barriers. But then there's also the practical side of your way of showing up consistently. If it feels really draining to show up consistently on TikTok, then we find a different way. Maybe there's LinkedIn, maybe there's a different, and we kind of explore which one feels best. But I'm not an expert on social media. I'm not an expert on the technicalities around that. It's more about how, self-knowledge, yeah, like how you show up, what's your way, and discovering the blockages as well. Because sometimes they're in our subconscious, we're not always, we know what the block is, but we don't know why or where it's come from and things like that. So it's more internal work, and then we go and take action. And I think that's important because you may have heard of a lot of other human design coaches or consultants or things like that, or readers. And most of the time it's very descriptive. You are this, you are suited to this. The key part of my work is, okay, we're going to implement this. We're going to really reach more people. You're going to make more impact. Your words are going to go further, attract more people towards you in a not forceful way, in a very effortless way.
And you think maybe in future when you expand to just build corporations, maybe with web designers or people like to have like a portfolio that you can recommend or stuff like that. So once is the theory, and then, this is, then I can give you a number, and this is a good guy, and this is reasonable pricing. So you're thinking along these lines?
That's a brilliant idea. That's a great idea. Thank you. I wasn't thinking along those lines, but that's brilliant. Yeah.
It just sounds to me so logic, because once the topic comes up, there are LinkedIn experts. Interestingly enough, LinkedIn is a super powerful tool, and they're TikTok expert, and it's, again, as you said, it's not for everyone, TikTok and other social media. So, and once you have made the decision, I think I'd be lovely if I would be your client to say, oh, you have a phone number or something, like from a person that you've. So it sounds very natural to me.
Great. Yeah, I love that idea.
All right. I'm just a practical guy. The theory is one thing, but then I always like, okay, let's get it done.
Yes, I love it.
Great. All right, because this is also the jungle out there, right? You have a lot of knowledge. I mean, that's why I invited you, because I totally like what you do, and then I think it's just a jungle out there, right? I mean, if you're on LinkedIn these days, I basically every single day get 3 to 5 CEO, whatever, marketing, whatever. I mean, it's insane the amount of emails and posts I'm getting from God knows. And it's hard through the jungle, right? You have the budget fit. Do you look at these, or do you think about this? Because, if you pay money here and you pay money there, and it also drains the energy that you have all these tools and all these gimmicks. So I'd think it'd be...
Yes. Again, it depends on the type, but let's say we're talking about generators right now, which is the majority of people. It's really good to master one, really put your eggs and master one. Yeah, you can have other things going on. For me, LinkedIn is my one.
You should set this 5 more times. I'm so in agreement with you.
Yeah.
You cannot understand. I think this is one of the main mistakes that we make, that we think we have to be on all the social media. You have to cater to all of them.
Yeah.
And each and every social media has such an individual culture.
Yes.
And we just don't respect it if we're just posting the same stuff here and here and here. Well, we don't respect the individuality of that specific platform, and then it never resonates.
Yeah.
So this for me is, and if I go to, and it's funny because I am a victim myself. If I go to some healer's website, if I see LinkedIn talking I was like, oh my God, right? And then you go to I always go to their YouTube profile, and if they have their own YouTube channel, and then you see 3 videos in 7 years and this and that, and you're like, why do you have this channel? What is it good for, right?
Yeah.
But at the other way around, I'm already so crazy and stupid if I go to a healer's website and I just see LinkedIn and that's it. And I'm like, So I'm already a victim myself, thinking like, where's your YouTube channel and where's this?
Yeah.
So we have the self-fulfilling prophecies, but I'm with you. It's such a good advice.
Yeah. And I can tell when someone's just reposted their Instagram onto LinkedIn, and you'll see that the engagement is like nothing, because LinkedIn algorithm can tell too. Yeah, master one, for me, I chose LinkedIn because that suits me best. I'm not a visual, real video kind of girl. I've got wisdom. I want to share it, and I don't really care how the picture looks. I just want to get the information out there in a very engaging, magnetic way. I still have Instagram, but I'm not posting on it every day. It's just there. It's just, there's no plan behind it. I just might post something on my story here and there. That's it. So yeah, mastering one. And there is a strategy with LinkedIn. It's not message everyone out the blue. And there is a way of doing it where you don't get caught up in the spam of things.
Absolutely. This is the best advice I think you can give people beside of, the work that you actually do with human design, where we're coming to now. But that's, I think, the best practical advice people should take home with. Erase half of your profiles and you'll be better off, and most likely, have much stronger response if you just focus on one profile that works for you and then really submerge in that culture and, work with it.
Yeah.
This is a hell of advice.
And one more piece that I think is really key is relationship building. Relationship building is everything. Just nurturing, but like authentic relationship building. You build up your network, and it's a slower game, but the rewards are a lot higher. When you do come out with that big launch, there's people waiting to receive from you.
Wow. That's, of course, a perfect advice if we know how to do it.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's why you exist, because I wouldn't know how to do it. So,
Yeah, a lot of the time I'll just invite people onto calls, and it's just a free call. Just, we have a similar journey. I can see this is where your blocks are. Okay, this is how I got through them, and just share some free advice, and you're building, and then you give them something, they might give you something back, and yeah.
Everybody wants to talk to you, huh? Nobody wants to come to my call. Oh, loves me.
Maybe it's not
all right. Let's jump into human design. I'm dying to know more about it. Maybe if you're happy to give a small presentation, that'd be really lovely.
As in visual? I don't have a vision.
No, about human design. You wanted to give some pointers about the different.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's 5 energy types in human design, which are basically archetypes, you call them. And I'll run through them. If anyone that's listening doesn't know their human design, Philip will have the link below somewhere where you can go and find out.
Briefing.
And then you can take what's for you when I'm speaking. So we will start with the generator type. We make up about 37% of the population. I haven't actually asked you, Philip, do you know your human design? No, you don't know yet. Okay, you'll find out afterwards. So yeah, we make up 37% of the population, and our role here, we're the doers, the creators. We're called generators because we generate energy when we're doing the things that we truly enjoy and that light us up. That's how you know that you're doing the right thing. If you're ever feeling drained, something's not quite aligned, and it's just very important that you let go of the shoulds. I should be a good husband or good friend or good daughter or...
I shouldn't be a good husband. Is there is this the message of the podcast?
Yes, you should want to. That's the message. You should want to be a good husband.
You're asking, really, this is cruel.
And if you don't want to, then something's not aligned. Yeah.
Never.
So yeah, generators, it's important. I should do this I should take this job for the money. I should those things. So it's really important because when we do things that we don't want to do, not only are we draining ourselves, the people around us are affected because we're the ones generating. So it's not selfish to say no, things like that. We have to really prioritize our wants and what we actually want to do. And fruition and prosperity will come through that. And I know sometimes it can be like, I have this big desire and I'm excited about breath work, but like, I'm never going to make money doing that. So I've got this finance job just here. I should take that. When you follow your passion, you have these passions and desires for a reason. And if it's energizing you and you're getting excited by it, that is guidance. And because it's where you should be going, you will be successful as long as your strategy is correct and you're showing up in alignment with yourself. In terms of marketing, we just spoke about this. It's very important for the generators to master one. We're like the long distance runners. We're steady going and we tend to become the master of our thing. So picking one way or platform or thing is important for us. Then we have the manifestors. They make up about 9% of the population. They're more like leaders, movement creators. They drive things forward. The analogy I give for them, they're like train drivers. And they are driving from London to Paris. And we choose, do we want to get on the train? And they're going there regardless. And because of this kind of energy, they tend to experience a bit more rejection than the rest of us because people are either with them or they're not. They're either going there with them on their way or not. So they have a bit more of a tendency for people pleasing because of that. So that's a big thing that we work through as well. These are the visionaries. They have big ideas and big positions usually, and they're also very independent. They work very well autonomously. So it could be CEO, but it also could be a sales person, sales rep. They're very individual. They're working with themselves. They've got their own targets. They're doing their own thing. No one's in their way. That's the energy of a manifestor. For them, in terms of marketing, it's about what is the easiest way for you to share your big vision. Where are people most receptible to understand your vision? Is it through visual content? Is it through written content? Is it through your current little community that you already have? Or is it through reaching large numbers? Finding your way of sharing your vision and figuring that out. Obviously, right now I'm talking about the higher level as the energy types, but within each energy type, we're also all very different and we all have very different skills. So there'll be that, but then there'll be even more nuances deeper in your charts, which will give you even more specifics even more specific in terms of guidance. Manifesting generators are a hybrid between the first two I just mentioned, the generators and the manifestors. These people are multi-passionate, multiple skills, and my prediction, you have to let me know afterwards, I think that Philip might be a manifesting generator because he has done all the things. He has lots of skills, lots of passions, and does lots of different things. So I would be interested to know. That could be you. Manifesting generators, their biggest struggle is finishing things that they start because they keep getting excited about the next new thing. So that's not you? Okay. Maybe you're not a manifesting generator. We'll see. So they struggle to finish and they might compare themselves. My friend started writing her book last year. She's already finished it and published it. In the meantime, I've started a YouTube channel, an article, my TikTok account. I've done all the things and I haven't finished any of them. I've just started lots of things, whereas my friend's already finished the thing that she started, and that can put us down and things like that. So important not to compare yourselves, obviously. And it's also good to know that you are designed this way on purpose. It's not about the logic of finishing something. Maybe you took a piece of wisdom here, a bit of experience here, a bit of karma here, a bit of things, and everything ties together. And maybe it takes you 3 years or 5 years to publish your book, but then it ends up being the bestseller with all these extra layers of things going in it. So it's important to be kind to yourself and not compare yourself. With the manifesting generators, again, it's important that what you're doing energizes you and lights you up. That's your indication of this is right for me. That's like generator side. It's important to be okay with pivoting for manifesting generators because of all these projects and ideas and passions. You don't want to stick with the logic, I started this, I must finish it. If you're getting really excited about this new project, that's your guidance, that excitement. So being open to pivoting and things like that. Projectors, they make up 20% of the population. They are the wise guides. They're very good at seeing into people and into systems. The analogy I give for projectors is the rest of us are in a forest. We're hunting and gathering, searching for food, searching for safety. And the projector is a bird on a tree that can see. They can see the quickest, most efficient way there. And yeah, they can relay that information to us. So they do very well in those kind of guidance positions, whether it's a consultant or a coach or, or even someone high level manager, where they're able to see into things. They work very well one-to-one, and you'll probably find, you work very well one-to-one. It doesn't mean you can't work with groups and things like that, but you work very well one-to-one with people. For you, in terms of marketing, it's about finding where you feel most recognized, where you're able to share your insight without feeling pushy or forceful or salesy. If you feel that way, let's say on LinkedIn, then that's not the right place if you're feeling that energy. If there's another platform where it just feels so inviting, and maybe you put a comment and people are like, oh, tell me more, and things like that, then that's the place. So anywhere that you're being recognized and it's just easy for you to share your insights effortlessly without feeling forceful. The last type, reflectors. These guys make up 1% of the population. Their job here is to reflect back to us how we are doing. In their human design chart, the whole energy body is undefined. So you know how I said my throat center is undefined? Their entire center, all of the chart is undefined. The centers in the chart, they're similar to the chakra system, but slightly different. There's a couple extra centers. So if you can visualize that, it's completely energetically open. So they reflect back to us how we are behaving, how we are attitudes, how we're showing up. And if a place is toxic, they're going to be reflecting that. And if a place is nourishing and warm and inviting, they're going to be reflecting that. So reflectors, it's really important to find that place that you feel good. What feels good and nourishing for you? If there's a place that feels toxic, maybe you see all these toxic news videos on TikTok and you're just feeling drained by it, and all this terrible news or sexual things and I don't know, all these things, and that's making you feel ick and gross and heavy, then that's not for you. So it's about finding that place that feels good for you, and that place where you're able to share your observations because you're reflecting that. So you're sharing your observations with ease and people feel connected to you.
Really interesting, because of course I'm trying to listen and always imagine some friends for each and every group, and bouncing back with friends, and it's so interesting. The last what was it? Reflectors,
yeah, they're quite triggering
right.
people. They're very triggering.
I definitely have a friend who is a reflector 100%, and it's very hard for this person to be successful. Incredibly hard. And self-marketing and stuff is complete horror.
They need to change their environment. They need to surround themselves with successful people that cheer them on and encouraging and supportive. Yeah.
It's very hard when you're a business owner.
Yes, when you're working on your own, I know. Yeah.
When you're a business owner working on your own, then it's very, or even have employees. That's a very tough thing to overcome because it's not naturally flowing.
Yes, and I think that's why communities are so important. Finding, and I don't mean just like business communities, just communities of people that are like-minded, have similar goals, visions, values, and a lot of opportunities can come through that way. You'll find that your ambition might change or your strategy might change from being around more positive people.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. So, of course, there's a huge value in that, because once you understand who you are, you clearly understand what is your strengths and weaknesses, and you can build a strategy more, as you said, science-based or data-driven strategy. When it makes life a lot easier when you know, okay, this is I'm good in, all right, let's push it. Yeah. And this is what I need to develop.
Yeah, and it's so relieving for a lot of people. Oh, I don't have to be on TikTok. Everyone's on TikTok. I don't actually have to be on it. I can be successful and not do what everyone else is doing. Oh, okay. What's my way? Tell me. Let's do it. Yeah.
Right. And how do you figure that out? Do you have a questionnaire, or you just make observation or a conversation? How you're picking up these types? What's your method?
So I analyze that chart. So the chart will tell me a lot of information because, like today, this is
Chart?
the human design chart. It's a chart. It's a visual chart. So it's like a birth chart, like an astrology birth chart, but different. It's of an energy body. So it's got like the chakras and the gates and
then how you figure it out? There's like how you get this chart and how is they made?
I will give you the link and you'll put it under this video. And you can just pop it in online and it will generate the chart for you.
With questionnaire or with
no. So you put in your birth information. It's based on your birth information.
Your birth information?
Yeah.
How fascinating.
It's linked to astrology.
You should have sent me this before the meeting, so I could have done it and then I could have told you.
Well, we'll find out afterwards. I have two predictions for you.
How long does it take to do it?
Oh, no, not long. You just put in your birth information and it calculates it, pops out. It will tell you like top level things, but you probably won't understand it. It might not have a long description.
I'll send you now on the chat my birthday if you want. Just don't tell anybody. And then you can pump it in and then we can tell the audience we're just doing it live.
We can do a bit of a mini reading.
Well, you don't need to do the whole thing. Right. You also need to know the city where I'm born.
Yeah, so I need to know the city and if you have the time, it's like to the minute.
Of course, I have. Do I? Yes. The last one is the time.
Yeah, and the city. So where did you send it to me?
And the chat. You have a chat in this wonderful.
Yes, I see. So
look how fancy it is. My recording.
Is that the
software.
the 14th of November?
Don't tell.
Everyone can say happy birthday to me now. I won't say the year.
Secret, my
I won't
birthday.
say the year.
I'm so old that I'm getting Wayne.
Hey, the hour.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So nine.
The big mystery, the big reveal. People's getting exciting. Now we're learning about Phil and see his great talent. It turns out he's actually a jellyfish.
A jellyfish.
That will be the chart. Never happened before.
Okay.
First human jellyfish.
Jellyfish. Okay, I have your client. I'll show it on the screen. Can you see?
All right. Somewhat.
That's you.
It means nothing to me.
That's what it looks like. So that's the chart I'll read. You're a generator, by the way. So that master, becoming that master of one thing is beneficial for you. And like doing the
generator was the first group or second?
The first one.
Like everybody, like the big group.
The 37.
90%.
37, yeah.
That feels great to me.
Yes, and
I want to be part with everybody. I don't want to be special.
One's special. Everyone's special. They have different things going on within that. And then you'll see these are the energy centers where it's colored in.
Oh.
That's where energy is generating from within. So it's consistent from within. Where it's white is where you're most susceptible, most vulnerable to being conditioned or influenced. And that is usually the areas where a lot of the blockages lie when I'm working with people is in those undefined centers.
And which one is this in my case?
For you have your emotion center. So you're experiencing the emotions of others. It's coming in, it's being amplified within you. You really feel the feels of other people. Ego center is to do with self-worth. So again, it depends on who you're around. Around certain people, you might feel really worthy. And then around other people, might feel the opposite. And that's that being influenced there. And then the crown center is undefined for you, which is, where we generate belief. It's like where our beliefs are and our inspiration. So you're externally inspired. It's good for you to have that external stimulation. Those are the open centers. And all the other centers, it's all like consistent running from within. How you make decisions. The best way for you to make decisions is from your sacral, which is your gut. And the best...
It's from what?
Your gut.
Sorry?
Your gut.
My gut decision.
Yes, that's the best way.
I mean, it's big enough.
Yeah, there's 7 different ways that we could make decisions, basically, in human design. But your way is through the sacral, the gut, the stomach. And the way to work with this is asking it closed questions or options. Not where shall I go on holiday, not what should I eat for dinner, not what project, da, 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 da. It's this one, or this one. Pizza, pasta, chicken, curry. And then the yes is quite a physical, sit up in the chair. Oh, yeah. We might make a noise. And a no is obviously a bit constrictive, sicky, icky feeling. And that's a really nice way if you can start practicing that. I say to people if you start practicing with these small decisions like what to have for dinner, when it comes to the bigger decisions, should I partner with that person? Should I invest in that thing? You're more used to that feeling, and you're more connected with it, and you can trust it. So that is a little bit about your chart.
Very interesting. Well, I didn't imagine that this is coming through for the horoscope, which is it's a wonderful, simple way to do it.
Yeah.
And you have data because you said your data on the list. Have you put some research into this? How precise it is? Have you made your own observation on that?
So my observations is from experience. I've worked with over 40 people. I'm losing count now, but yeah. And every single person I've worked with, it's been so specific and just the most reliable I found in terms of self-knowledge systems, that it is based on science in terms of quantum physics, in terms of, I don't know if you've heard of neutrinos and things like that, which is beyond me, but there is that there. So you can look into the science behind it. But for me, I'm more about, does it work? And to be honest, let's just say it's all a load of rubbish. If you're able to now publicly speak, you're now reaching more people, you're now making more money, doesn't matter. And I think that's my argument.
Exactly.
I truly know that it works because I know it works myself, it works for all the people I've worked with. But even if it didn't, if you're going to achieve these results, doesn't matter.
Absolutely. 100% of whatever works, and who cares how it works.
Yeah.
That is really not important. I mean, it shouldn't be important if you're not a scientist.
Yeah. No,
That's it. So this was really, really wonderful so far and unexpected. Now I know a bit more about myself. I should eat more. That's exactly the only thing I heard from you is just, eat more. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. Right? I try to be on diet, but bad idea. So I'm very happy for this conversation, and also interesting that the last group that a friend of mine is, and so many things are more clear to me now. So I can really see how this specification can definitely help people a lot.
Yes, I would say as well, if you are a coach or a practitioner and you're working with you have clients, it's really good to know your client. It's really good to know how to best work with them. When I was a health coach and I thought the system's genius, I'm going to use it in my health coaching to help my health coaching clients achieve their health goals. And I thought, and in the end, no one wanted health coaching from me and they just wanted human design. So I kind of shifted. But yeah, if you are working with people and if you're making a plan, not just based on what foods are good for them, but really what's the best way to structure that plan for them. Some people are really good they need the hour. It's in their design. So some people are really good. They need 9 a.m. this, 10 a.m. and that really some people, that's great for them. For other people, they have this inconsistent style where they need more windows in the morning, in the evening, and that is better for that person. So understanding who you're working with and how you can best support them is amazing as well.
That's actually interesting what you're saying, that could be helpful for a lot of HR, basically, by the end of the day.
Oh, for sure.
If they would ever consider it. But I just don't think an HR company can be based on the horoscope.
I think there are some out there that do use human design in HR. I think it's starting to happen, which is crazy.
But secretly.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know enough.
I mean, the big companies that I know, I think they'd be, think you totally got Wally. If you say, oh, he's born in November, let him work in the afternoon.
I love that.
fun conversation to have with the boss of HR from a multinational.
Yeah. Yeah. If you've got manifestors in your team, do not micromanage the manifestors. They need their space. You leave them, don't tell them. They know that, just let them do their thing and, how to work with different types of people. Yeah.
This was really wonderful so far. And just right in the end, just a couple of minutes, a little shortly, you told us your amazing story about your transformation. You said you worked with more than 40 clients. Maybe just one or two quick examples, because everybody here is dying now.
Yeah.
Some success stories, something that just short and compressed, was said, this person came to me and, now she's doing well. If you think it's fitting, at just the last couple of minutes, I'd love to hear a happy ending.
Yes. Okay. I have a very interesting case. This woman, I met her in Mexico. She came with my client there. She had worked her way up to become marketing director. She was an expert basically in marketing. She'd worked her way up. And she wanted to start her own business, and she had this big block around marketing herself. And if you're working together, she kind of came to the realization, because she didn't know what the block was. She came to the realization, my block is I don't know who my authentic self is, which is why I can't show up, because I don't understand who I am. And there was this missing piece she just didn't feel herself. She didn't know who she was. So through the human design, through the self-knowledge, she got to understand herself and tailor her way of marketing for her own thing. And now she's just started marketing her own retreats. So she's gone and taken action, done the thing. So we'll see what happens with her retreats, which is really exciting. Another story I have, this lady's from New Zealand. Yeah. And she was in social care. She had a very demanding job. I think it was illegal, the number of hours she was working. Totally drained, as you can imagine, getting paid peanuts, didn't have time or money or anything, and just slaving away. Through understanding her human design again, we learned how to communicate, put boundaries in place, and kind of stand our ground and do things in alignment with herself. She has since become self-employed. She's halved her working hours, and she is earning more money than she did when she was fully employed. And that has all happened. So that is another credible story. And I have just one more, because I had some in my mind. Another lady she was originally from Colombia, but she's now moved to New York. She was stuck in a rut she was in an admin data office job, hated it. But she and she had this big dream of getting into the journalism field. She wanted to be on Hispanic journalism TV. And she never, ever took any action towards it because of all these limiting beliefs, because of these fears, imposter syndrome, I'm not good enough, who am I, Worked through those mental blockages, worked through these undefined centers in the chart and where the conditioning lies. And she's now... Her self-esteem, we measured it just verbally measured it when she first started with me, was a 2 out of 10. So after finishing, her self-esteem was a 9 out of 10. And she has now got a job in journalism and TV. She's not a journalist, but she's in that field, which is, incredible transformation to have.
Well, Fiona, thank you so much. I think we all do not even mention that this is super useful. I think we all got to understand that it's knowing your strengths and weaknesses and having someone to help you balance this out. This is the key to marketing clearly, because everything today is about message alignment. That's all that's left, because simply too many people out there, too many social medias, too many posts, too many influencers. It's just too much of everything. And so if you not absolutely nail your message, it's just impossible to get things done.
Yes.
And I should admit, I should have listened more carefully to you. Well, I'm in such a holiday mood and watching the wind in the background, moving this canopy, whatever this is called in English. I'm half the time seeing the beach and, a little drink and I'm like, listen to the podcast. This is your job. And look at that. I could be there. Ah. So this was the most relaxing morning I had in a long time. And I'm sure you said very smart things while I was daydreaming away. But I will listen to the podcast while editing. So our viewers, if you also be naughty and watch the scenery, you must go back and re-listen. And thank you so very much. All the links, all the information down there. And I guess a lot of people will be now checking their chart and then be wanting to know more. And I wish you all the success. And thank you so much for making time to helping the people who are watching now, to care for them and to help them improve and to make your time so other people can go ahead in this world. Thank you so very much, Fiona.
Thank you so much. Thank you.